not Monday anymore. That's what I'm saying. That's how I start my Tuesday. At least it's not Monday anymore. It is Tuesday, right? Yeah, okay, good. Just checking. Oh, man, you up still up drinking? What's up, everybody? Just trying to get something together here. I just wanted to, there's a lot going on with the Don Lemon stuff. I remember I watched that when it was live. Not that I'm proud of that. What's up, Sapphire? Not that I'm proud of that. But yeah, I saw that all happening live. And I knew it was going to be something. I knew something was going to come out of that. Pull this one thing up here. People forget the word Nazi. Everybody throws around the word Nazi. I'm going to start off with a little skit from, it's called Freedom Tunes. They do good work. It's pretty good stuff. I'm going to play this. It's about Nazis, and it might give us a little bit of perspective. Maybe not. I don't know. We'll see.
Freedom Tunes.
Okay, folks, so as you know, Nazism is on the rise, and we need to stop them, which is why I've invented a time machine to bring back the people who defeated Nazism in the first place.
Perfect.
Yes!
Wonderful.
Hey, this ain't Normandy.
What gives? What year is it?
It's 2018!
Why did you say that so weird?
Sorry, force of habit. We brought you to the future because Nazism is on the rise in the US, and our president is sympathetic to them.
What?
Here's a pamphlet with all his positions.
This fella's disgusting.
Right?
This private thinks two men can get married. What?
Right?
Isn't that a man who cuts his dongle off as a woman?
Mhm.
Sounds more like a commie to me, but hey, same difference.
Sounds
I'll kill
hateful.
either one.
That's not what's bad about him.
It gets worse. What else are these Nazis doing?
They believe there are only two genders.
Well, of course there's more than two genders. Thank goodness. Yeah, the Russians have their gender, the Germans have their gender, the
Gender.
Japanese have their
Genders.
gender. Everybody's got an agenda.
No, not agenda. Gender.
What the hell is
Gender.
gender?
Sounds like some kind of phony word popularized in the 50s to create a false distinction between one identity and their biological sex. Am I in a ballpark here? Your sex is whether you're male or female, but your gender is how you identify.
Oh,
So if
made
you're
up.
born a man but want to become a woman, your gender identity is as a woman, and you therefore are a woman. No, it.
So you guys think men can be women?
Well, that's the biggest crock of nonsense I ever heard.
Yeah, none of this sounds like Nazism to me.
Well, how about this? He wants people to pay for their own birth control.
Oh no! Yeah,
Outrageous.
birth control is legal.
The guys who defeated Nazism are such Nazis.
You know, I don't like you pinkos going around telling people you're fighting Nazis just because you berate everyone you disagree with. You've never fought a Nazi in your life, and to claim otherwise is stolen valor.
Yeah, and you know what? When actual Nazis come around, no one's going to want to fight them anymore
Right.
because you guys keep crying wolf.
Now let's go back and win ourselves a war.
You know, I almost don't want to anymore.
Right.
Wait,
Almost
Don't
want to
go.
anymore.
we need you.
We need to say you're on our side so we can convince the greater whole of society to accept violence against dissidents who stand in the way of the social order we seek
They
to
don't see it.
establish.
They don't see it.
And how exactly are they the Nazis?
Because I call them Nazis.
Well, you call men women, so... Hey guys, thank you so much for watching. Freedom Tunes is almost entirely fan-funded, so if you enjoyed this video, please consider donating at
Great work.
patreon.com/freedomtunes. Also, you can buy one of our new Freedom Tunes t-shirts. Please do it. I love you. Mwah.
They do good work. They a lot of funny stuff, and they put it in pretty simple terms, so even people like that guy out there, Telescope, can understand it. Yeah, those who don't know, the guy in the chat named Telescope has been following me around for almost 5 years now. When we were down in DC protesting, we made them all look like fools, and he hasn't got over his grudge yet. I think he might like my wife too, but you know, I don't know. That's old school, right? Oh, what are we doing out here? What are we doing out here? Then you got people like this lady out there. Like this should be, she should be brought up on charges, I think.
Here's the thing, it is not doxing if they identify themselves. Anyway, here's our ICE agent of the day. His name is Romel Flores Madlangbayan. This is what he looks like. Here's him in Chicago on a recent
should be illegal.
work trip. Check out his really nice caption. And what a beautiful song choice. And look at how helpful he is. He posted a photo, mask off, of all of his coworkers. How nice
You just
of
want to slap
him.
this lady?
Look at
I
this
do. I wanna
beautiful
slap this
photo of them all together. Romel, from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much. Here's another of him and his coworkers. Do you recognize any of these Nazis? Because they, again, have self-identified.
Remember, they're Nazis, don't
So
forget.
it's not
They're Nazis.
doxing. And here's a photo of our boy Romel just casually terrorizing his community. He thinks it's so funny. He thinks it's so funny.
Natalie, for joining. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. I think the dollar I get per video doesn't really cut the expenses cost down much. That's all right. So Don Lemon, we talked a good bit about it. I went over that video yesterday about the whole situation with Don Lemon. And then there's this other guy.
It was a protest.
I don't remember this guy's name. I see him on lives in the morning. He's your typical lefty. He's always, like, you can tell how miserable he is right there by just looking at him. He's always very upset. He's always very mad, very angry about something. He's always acting in a very righteous way. He's always telling the right what they're doing wrong and why we suck and all that kind of stuff. So I want to get kind of interested in his take, because, I'm sure it's very insightful. His take on the whole Don Lemon thing. Let's see.
So my friend Don Lemon went into a church in Minneapolis today.
The volume's kind of
there was a protest in that church because it is alleged that the pastor of that church somehow is working with ICE. So First Amendment right, freedom of speech. There was a protest. Nobody broke any laws. There was no violence. Some would say a church proceeding was interrupted. And now they're blaming Don Lemon for it. Well, let me tell all you MAGA fucks something. Let me be very fucking clear. I would much rather have a church service be interrupted because people are using their First Amendment rights, protesting against what's happening in the streets of Minneapolis.
It's not First Amendment rights to invade a church like that. Just so we all are all clear. It's not a First Amendment right to do that. It's not okay to do that. Just so we all are clear on that.
I would much rather have a church proceeding be interrupted than an innocent 37-year-old woman be murdered.
Oh, emotional blackmail. Oh, because we have to pick between the two, right? This is how the liberal mind works. The morons on the left. This is what they think. They have to pick one of the two. Which one's worse? Which one? Like, validate it through that. There's a name for that. I'm sure there is.
I would rather have a church proceeding be interrupted than people losing their Fourth Amendment rights and people demanding for their ID and their documentation of citizenship because of the color of their skin or because of their accent. I'm pretty sure Jesus Christ would agree with me on this one. I don't want innocent people murdered on the streets. I don't want us to look like
the qualifier is that we must want people murdered in the streets. He doesn't, so that must mean we do.
Christ would agree with me on this one. I don't want innocent people murdered on the streets. I don't want us to look like Nazi Germany. That's what's going on. And if we can continue to allow it, that's what we are going to be. So good on those protesters. I commend them for using their First Amendment rights.
Not First Amendment rights. Not First Amendment rights.
And protesting what I would consider peacefully. And those of you that want to go after Don Lemon, it's par for the course.
Look how nasty
for you right-wing fucks.
Mad.
A black man who happens to be gay.
Oh, we're going after Don Lemon because he's black and gay. Do people actually fall for this crap? Do people on the left actually fall for this crap? well, the protesting in the church isn't good, but it's better than murdering people in the streets because apparently we have to choose between the two. And Don Lemon, we're going after Don Lemon not because he's an ass and he blah blah blah. No, it's because he's a black gay man, and the right just can't handle it. We have to get mad. We hate black gay people. So that's why we're mad. Not because of the despicable behavior of these losers that went into a church and did this. It's got nothing to do with that. It's all because he's a black gay man. If you believe that, if you're out there wondering why people are going after Don Lemon and you believe that it's because he's a black gay man, you are a puppet. I'm sorry to tell you. That's what you are.
And is on the left, boy, you guys just chomp at the bits to go after someone like that. Don Lemon didn't do anything wrong. He's a great journalist. He went in there, he interviewed the pastor, and he was documenting what took place. He's not responsible for anything that could be breaking the law. By the way, to my knowledge, nobody in that church broke the law anyway. So you guys can continue to attack Don Lemon, but I think it says everything we need to know about the right today, particularly the evangelical.
It's an interesting way to twist it, man. Interesting way to twist it. So he made that turn into that we are cool with murder and we're hateful. That's it. We're bigots. Remember, that's all he did here. He said, oh, look, they're all bigots. The right's all bigots. Don't listen to them. That's all he said here. He didn't go on any facts. He actually misstated some things. He said they didn't break any laws, meaning they did break some laws. So he lies, and then he tries to reshape the argument to make it look like we just want people dead in the streets and we hate gay black people. And that's what it boils down to, right? That's all it is. So don't listen to the right, because the right is just a bunch of hateful bigots. Remember that. Whenever they bring up a point, don't listen to it, because it could be right, and we might lose you.
All right. They care more about a church proceeding being interrupted at worst case scenario than they do an innocent 37-year-old woman who was shot multiple times in the face.
That's the narrative right there. They care more about the church service than that woman. That's a false. I just put a video up. It's like Americans don't have to be this ignorant anymore. We don't have to be this ignorant, guys. We don't. We don't have to believe this stupid narrative that the only reason that the right is upset about them invading that church service and scaring people is because we're bigots. It's because we hate black people or we hate gay people. That's what it is. We want people dead in the street. That's what the problem is. So that's it. There you go. Now, the left morons out there, like Microscope and some other people, are going to go, yup, see? You guys are bigots, and you guys are hateful, and so we can't listen to you because you must be wrong. Cool narrative. It works on the idiots, I guess.
Radical right.
They're not going to work anyone
here. They care
here.
more about a church proceeding being interrupted at worst case scenario than they do an innocent 37-year-old woman who was shot multiple times in the face. Narrative. Well, guess what? I could give two fucks if a church service is briefly interrupted. I don't give a shit. Go home and pray. Go to another church. Because I would much rather have
so you have to go to another church.
Protesters interrupt a religious proceeding than ICE agents in Minneapolis shooting people. And if you don't agree with that statement, then there's something fucking wrong with you.
Yeah, if you don't agree, there's something wrong with you. If you don't bow down and listen to my leftist logic, there's something wrong with you. Well, no one wants there to be something wrong with them, so everyone's going to be like, oh, I agree. Remember, there's something wrong with you if you don't agree with him.
Shut up.
Exactly, Nancy. You tell him. That's the truth right there.
And I commend people like Don Lemon, the Jolly Ginger out there, and other people who are reporting on what is going on the ground in Minneapolis. As far as I'm concerned, you're heroes. And the people out there that are up in arms over a church proceeding being interrupted, you can all go fuck yourselves.
Oh, there he goes. Did he convince you that he's right? Or did he convince you that you're a bad person if you don't believe he's right? Think about it. That's what he just did there. He didn't explain why he's right. He didn't give any good examples. He didn't cite any law. He didn't do any of that stuff. All he did was say, if you don't side with me, there's something wrong with you. And that's it. That's the whole argument. And on the left, that works really well. Really well.
You are legit bad person. You are a legit bad person.
This person thinks I'm a bad person because I have opinions that are different than his. It's amazing. It's amazing, isn't it? Oh, have you seen this? This is a little bit, but it's a good explanation of how the left works right here. Look.
How can this fucking be okay? Do you see that baby handcuffed there?
Someone said Don Lemon didn't have anything to do with it. Don Lemon interviewed the people beforehand. Don Lemon knew exactly what they were going to do. He knew all about it. If you think Don Lemon didn't have anything to do with it, I mean, I don't even know what to tell you.
How can this fucking be okay? Do you see that baby handcuffed there? What kind of fucking threat is that child? This is what you voted for, MAGA.
Yes, it is.
This is what you want.
Yes, it is. Now, the truth.
Now, this is the little girl who's not 6 years old at all. This woman is 27 years old. You little leftards thought you had a friend, didn't you? Not only is this not a 6-year-old girl, that's not ICE. She not even being detained because she's suspected as an illegal. Y'all want to know the best part?
Pretty go now. Stay out of traffic. Oh, wait.
She was let go. You see what they do for views? Just look. Just It's how brainwashed the left has their robots.
I am in Florida, and I am literally afraid to leave my house.
Because you're a moron. I mean, that's where we're at. That's where we're at, guys. Do you read or do the trolls make it worthless? I'll check under the comments here. A lot of times I'll tell people, not because I'm just like a money grubbing, but I'll tell people, hey, hit it up with a super chat or whatever, because I get a lot of comments going by and it's hard to keep track. But I do enjoy conversing with the people in the chat. I do enjoy that. Yeah, so the legalities of the Don Lemon thing here. I know that people don't want to hear it, but
and Stacey Schneider.
This is for the record. This is CNN.
It's the table. And Stacey, let me start with you, counselor. What does the law say about protesting in a church like this?
Yeah, the law says that these protesters are in trouble. There's a federal statute
well, they should
called
be.
FACE, F-A-C-E, that says if you interfere or physically obstruct another person's First Amendment right to exercise their freedom of practicing their religion, it is a federal crime. Now, had these protesters stood outside the church, been on the sidewalk, been on the street, they likely would have been protected by their First Amendment right to protest. But you're allowed to protest in a public forum, but that right is not absolute. They crossed the line when they went inside a church. And I think of it almost like, a church is public property. Imagine if protesters went inside a hospital to protest Medicaid or health policy and interrupted treatment of patients. It's really not that different.
But ICE officers do that. ICE officers have been going into hospitals. They have been going into churches. Donald Trump said they were allowed to go into churches. They're going to schools. They're picking out parents from drive-by lines. And
Pay attention to how one side of this argument is factual and one side of this argument is emotional. Remember that. That's the left and right in a nutshell. Emotional or factual.
these people in the neighborhood just found out that their pastor of the church is a high-ranking ICE official. So I think if you're a church that has an ICE person as a pastor, it's already political.
Why does that mean anything? Why does it mean anything that he was an ICE agent There's an ICE agent and a pastor. Why can't you be both? Why can't you be both? Why are they drawing this false narrative that you can't be both?
And he's running
need
the
it, that's
church.
why.
Like at the end of the day, I don't think this has. I know, but I don't think this has anything to do with faith. And I think that the community is making it a faith issue. I think this is about politics and power.
Faith, and I'll tell you what. It was inside a church, and religious practice was going on inside the church. They basically allegedly stormed into the church, interrupted it, disrupted it, physically blockaded it. And not only is a federal law possibly involved, and I don't think the state is going to pursue this, but they could be found guilty of a trespass, allegedly, for entering that church with the intent to commit unlawful activity. I don't know that the state's going to pursue anything. The feds definitely have signaled they are. Yeah, and I think they need lawyers.
But I think the feds are signaling that they are in many ways. Like Todd Blanche is here saying the full weight of the law. We're sending the FBI, the DHS, all these people in because these people stormed a church. This is the same Todd Blanche that's saying we are not investigating our officer shooting someone in the face. Like, if you are more upset about a group of people storming in and chanting in a church than you are about a civilian being shot in her own car in her own neighborhood, then I think we've lost the plot here.
I agree with you that the way the government has executed their entire business in Minneapolis has been disgraceful.
So this is a great question here, guys. Really great question. Got to pull this up on screen because it's really thoughtful. Must have taken a while to write this one. So why do you support white supremacy? Oh, I didn't know I did support white supremacy. Do I? Is that the label that you're going to assign to me? And now I'm supposed to stand back and defend myself? Am I supposed to stand here and defend white supremacy? Is that your goal? Get somebody labeled something so they have to defend it? I mean, give me a break. It's basic stuff here. Super basic stuff. The one who organized the protest, I believe, was a Black Lives Matter activist too, was she not? I believe she was. Let's see here.
Organized the protest at the Minneapolis church this weekend. Nikema also, by the way, ordained reverend. Okay,
ordained reverend.
Miss her with
if she's biblical, she shouldn't be a leader in the church, right? Doesn't it say that in the Bible somewhere? I'm pretty sure it does. I don't know. I'm not really holding on to that, but if she wants to go the biblical route, maybe she should,
what you've been sending me today. These protesters hate Jesus. She's a reverend. All right, just putting it out there. Former Homeland Security Chief of Washington, D.C., Donnell Harvin, and Trump's former acting director of ICE, Jonathan Fahey. Good to have each and all. Counsel, I'll start with you. Counsel Armstrong, how do you believe that the protesters, were they supposed to go into a place of worship as far as you understand about the video that we're seeing?
Absolutely. We went into
and that is legal. Why? That's the context.
We were invited into the church. The pastor himself is on video calling it a public gathering, a public church service. So we were invited in, and contrary to your opening statement saying BLM protesters busted in, that's absolutely inaccurate. As a matter of fact, most of the people who were a part of the protest were everyday, ordinary citizens who are frustrated with the brutality that we have dealt with at the hands of ICE. And over the weekend, we found out that one of the pastors at the church, David Easterwood, also serves as the director of the field office for ICE in St. Paul at the Whipple Federal Building. Now, as an ordained reverend and as an itinerant preacher, I was shocked. I'm someone who believes very firmly in the gospel of Jesus Christ. And the foundation of that gospel is to love thy neighbor as you love thyself.
Did you?
When you contrast that to the behavior
of neighbor?
ICE agents who have done anything but love their neighbor, as a matter of fact, they have killed their neighbor. When Renee Good was killed by ICE agent Jonathan Ross on January 7th of 2026, we realized that there is a dichotomy at work that is unsustainable. How can you be both a pastor as well as someone who unleashes ICE agents upon our community who are inflicting harm day after day after day? That's the real story.
I understand the grievance. I cover that story here every day, Nikema. What I'm saying is, are you open to one, the pastor saying I did not invite them in. And he says on tape many, many times, I don't want them here. I didn't ask them in. They came in. But that's a question of fact. Let's put it to the side. Are you open to the perspective of people seeing this as proof of what's wrong?
Church gets tax-free status because they're supposed to be nonpartisan. Okay.
With your side, as it's called right now, as opposed to, go ahead.
No, I think it's proof of what's right. Because what you may not realize is that we walked into the church, sat down, participated in the service, singing the songs along with the
waiting for Don Lemon.
And
You were only there
because
you were waiting for Don Lemon to show up. He was late because he stopped to quote unquote help someone who was stuck in the snow. If you watch the whole thing, you understand that. If you didn't watch the whole thing, you don't realize that they were in there just waiting for Don Lemon to come in. And once he did, that was their cue to start. So it's not like they went there to learn about Jesus or to worship God or anything like that. That's not what they were doing. They'll act like that's what they were doing because they were waiting for Don Lemon. So they had to be quiet. There was no point. And in many of these cases, there is no point in doing any kind of a demonstration or a protest or anything like that if there aren't cameras on you. If there aren't people recording you, then what's the point, right? Because they're not doing it for the people in that church. They're doing it for all the people they're going to watch across the country. So they'll say that they were in there just, waiting for the church service to start and blah, blah, blah. But that's not the case. They were simply waiting for Don Lemon to walk in so they could start recording it. That's it.
The MAGA administration and the fake news MAGAs are losing their mind over something that's not even true. So let me just make it clear, because this assistant attorney general, I don't know, what's her name? Something Hammett, Gillen or whatever. So I had no affiliation to that organization. I didn't even know they were going to this church until we followed them there. We were there chronicling protests.
Okay. Cool.
Once the protest started in the church, we did an act of journalism, which was report on it and talk to the people who were involved, which included the pastor, members of the church, and members of the organization. That's it. It's called journalism. First Amendment, all that stuff. For all of you people who believe in the First Amendment, absolutist, there you go. So why don't you talk to the actual person who is in charge of the organization and whose idea it was to have the protest at the church before you start blaming me for stuff for which you have no idea. Thank you for your attention to this matter.
And we all have the address, right?
Yes. Everybody has the address? Yeah.
So they're getting the operation together. Again, this is an operation that is a secret, that they invited folks out. Can't tell you what is going to happen, but you're going to watch it live unfold here on the Don Lemon Show. That is what I can say. I turned our camera off of them because they're giving some critical information here. But
like
there we go. Everybody's ready to go.
Yeah, everybody's ready
Let's
to
go. Okay.
Almost like they knew ahead of time.
Thank you guys for being. Thanks you for a lot.
Gen X is the F around and find out. Federal agents come around my house. They're going to F around and they're going to find out I know what the Second Amendment is. You may know what it is, but apparently you don't know how to use it. Discretion might also be a problem.
Allowing me to be here.
Okay,
Thank you guys.
Okay.
How are you?
Good.
to see you. We're on. We're not saying what it is, what's going on, but thank you. Tell us why you're doing this.
So
this is Nakima Levy Armstrong. She's on the show
Nakima
on
Levy
Friday.
Armstrong, civil rights attorney, longtime activist here in the community. And, we protest and do activism in all kinds of ways. This is Operation Pull Up, more of a clandestine operation. We show up somewhere that is a key location. They don't expect us to come there. And then we disrupt business as usual.
Okay, so we're going to go to the operation again. We're not going to give any of the information away. But seatbelt. Don't give anything away. But we're doing this clandestine secret operation. And, they have found out
Big
some
secret
information that they
operation
want
he knew
to
about, huh? Didn't know
very
about, though.
slippery. Very
He just
slippery.
happened to show up.
They found this
Just
operation.
happened to.
They found out some inside information, right? Yeah. And so they're going to. You know where you're going?
Yeah, I know.
Okay, good. But again, this is just the beginning of this clandestine operation that they're doing here because of some inside information that they got. So this is going to be very interesting. But this is this is just very rough, off the cuff. IRL. This is a true IRL because it's not produced. We don't know what's happening. We kind of do, but we don't know how it's going to play out.
Kind of do.
So
Yeah.
we'll get to see some of the.
This is going to be
what
used in
happens
court, I
after
imagine.
this sort of surprise.
You know,
whatever
it'd be
it
good
is.
if you had your meta glasses on.
I do have
inside
them.
the building.
I may do that, but I don't know. Can you switch over to my Meta? No. We are here now. Do you think if you just have it? I think maybe if you just have it on the church, but if they see me, they're gonna know. No.
I don't. It just depends.
What?
Don't name the location.
I'm not naming the location, but I mean,
I mean,
I'm just wondering if
at
you
some
see
point,
me.
I mean,
the
but
folks inside
are
see me.
Are the congregants really on live instead of in service right now?
No, but they'll be like, "Why is Don Lemon here?"
Sunday morning. Sunday morning church.
Yeah. Okay.
Pretty sure they're not even going to recognize you, dude.
He's. Well, what else? It's Sunday, and we already said the church.
No, we didn't.
Yes, you said it.
No, I didn't.
No,
I did not.
We were saying that church is going on during Sunday.
Okay, that's what we said,
bro. I'm just trying to figure out what's the best thing because we just found out about this morning. I'm just trying to figure out if it's best for me to go inside so I can tell what happened. And then that's what I'm going to do. And can you just keep
what
it
if you
trained on there?
You should take, we could just,
I'm going to take this off.
We could swap hats too.
I have it. I
Brandon,
got it.
okay.
Yeah.
And then you can put your hood on too if you want. Church.
So he didn't know anything about it. He didn't know anything about it. But you know, one thing this is doing is stopping any attention on the fraud that's going on in Minnesota. And you got this other low life. This is the clown that was in there yelling at people.
Yesterday, I went into a church with Nakima Armstrong and I protested these white supremacists. The pastor of the church is a
He didn't protest. He intimidated and scolded.
And I protested these white supremacists. The pastor of the church is a fucking ICE leader in the city. How can you be a fucking pastor and be a fucking ICE agent? Fuck them. They want to come after me? Fuck them. How can they live so comfortably while the fucking people...
That's his line he uses a lot about people living comfortably while other people are starving. That's a line he uses repeatedly.
Comfortably while the fucking people from Somalia that are in this country legally, that have fucking citizenship, can't even go to their mosque and pray. How do they deserve any fucking different? Fuck those fucking Nazis. Come and get me, Pam Bondi, you fucking traitorous bitch. All power to the people. Yesterday,
You can tell he's not a real intelligent guy the way he's talking. You can tell he's not the smartest guy out there. Then we got agents going to people's houses for online posts. That's a little troubling. We'll get to that here in a second. Where we at here? I'm going to run over here and grab myself a quick refill on my coffee, I think.
Veteran.
All right. And I agree with this is pretty interesting, though. This is, let's see here. What's the caption? Breaking: Miami police are now flagging residents' Facebook posts and sending police to their homes to intimidate them for talking badly about the mayor. We never thought this would be possible in America. It shouldn't be.
Picture to make sure it's you. We're not sure.
Okay.
Is that your account?
I refuse to answer questions without my lawyer present. So
Well played,
I really
ma'am.
don't know how to answer that question
Okay.
either
Well,
way.
you're, like I said, you're not
This
going
is
to
freedom
jail.
of speech. This is America, right?
And
I'm a veteran.
And I agree with you 100%.
All
We're
right.
just trying to see if it's you, because we're not talking to the right person. We want to go see who the right person
Okay,
is.
how can I help you?
So pretty much it's just a statement that was made as far as,
verbatim, it says the guy who consistently calls for the death of all Palestinians tried to shut down a theater for showing a movie that hurt his feelings and refuses to stand up for the LGBTQ community in any way. Even leaves the room when they vote and on related matters. Wants you to know that you're all welcome. Clown face, clown face, clown face. 3 days ago.
How dare she?
You don't know if it was you?
I'm not going to answer.
How
whether
dare
that's
she
me or
post that
not.
online?
Okay.
The concerning part, and not concerning for the person who's posting it, what we're just trying to prevent is somebody else getting agitated or agreeing with the statement. We're not saying it's true or not.
Understood.
That guy who consistently calls for the death of all Palestinians,
Mhm.
that can probably incite somebody to do something radical. That's all we're here to talk about.
Mhm.
And we wanted to get your side of it. Was you that posted that?
Get your side of it.
I would think to refrain from posting things like that, because that can get something
I
incited.
appreciate your concern. I appreciate you coming out here.
Okay?
That's it?
That is it.
Okay.
I'm going to maintain my my amendment rights to not answer the question about whether or not that's me. I hope that's
Thank you for your time.
understandable.
We appreciate it.
Thank you
Yeah,
as
have a good
well.
day, okay?
You as well. Thank you. Take care.
This is America, guys. America. That's happening in America. Doesn't seem like it's possible, does it? Wasn't the only one.
Again.
And this is in Texas, I believe. Let's see. This one's quote, "We're here because of the comments you made online about the Jewish community." A Texas man says police showed up at his home after he posted criticism of Israel online.
We're here because of the comments you made online about the Jewish community. Are you
So what?
No, I'm saying, are you?
I have a freedom of speech, dude.
Yeah, no, we get that. I get that.
We gotta make sure that you're not. Do you have a warrant?
No.
No, that's why we're. Okay, you see that sign? Yeah. So that says no soliciting. What you're doing is basically soliciting. You understand that, right? Yeah. It means you're not welcomed here. Okay. Bye.
Take a time out, Rambo. You need
Stay
a
off
break.
the lawn, please.
What in the hell is going on in America, guys? What is happening in America that this stuff's going on?
This is what they're doing, guys. You make comments about the Jews online, they'll fucking show up at your door. This is what they do. This is freedom of speech. This is how much control Israel has over our country.
It's a little crazy. It's a little crazy indeed. I'm going to play. Oh, where we at here? I'm going to put a video on real quick while I run and grab a. This is a good one. This is the pastor from yesterday talking about what happened. This is a great video here, real quick. I'm going to play this while I run and grab a refill on the coffee. Give me about 2 minutes. That's about how long this is. So it should be done right at that time. We'll see. Wish me luck, guys. Wish me luck.
Today in Minneapolis, Minnesota, a group of activists led by Don Lemon stormed a Baptist church by the name of Cities Church during their worship time. They were screaming and chanting, disrupting the singing and the preaching because they suspected an ICE officer may attend the church. This is a violation of what is known as the FACE Act. And not only do we condemn this act, but tonight I want to demand that the Department of Justice investigate what took place in Minneapolis, apprehend those who broke the law, and arrest them accordingly. We must protect religious liberty in this country. As people meet to worship God, they have been given legally the right to enter, to worship, and to leave their place of worship. The Lord Jesus said, "In the world you will have tribulation, but be of good cheer, I have overcome the world." I have preached for many years that there will come a time when we'll find out who are Christians by label and by convenience, and who are Christians by conviction. And certainly we're entering those days now. I believe we should pray for this congregation, and we should be vigilant as Christians to exercise our freedom, to worship our Savior, and to stand unashamed for the gospel of Jesus Christ. And I might add as a subnote that we welcome all branches of law enforcement to Lancaster Baptist Church. And so let us pause before we begin tonight and have a word of prayer and ask the Lord to bless and to meet the needs in this situation.
What's the point of that comment? The FACE Act equals illegals can hide in churches and Trump's Gestapo. Brown boot ICE cannot enter. They're Nazis. Remember, they're Nazis. I need y'all to remember that they're Nazis. Nazis, Nazis, Nazis. Read some of these comments here. Some of these intelligent comments and some of these not so intelligent comments. Think yourselves lucky you don't live in Britain, guys. Yeah. Yeah, it's a shame what's going on over there. You hate to see it. You hate to see it. Where are we at here? Let's see. Did we cut? Oh, yeah. They're out there, guys.
Face.
Be careful.
Uso.
Be careful, guys.
What are we here for?
For the protection of the black man and woman and child by any means necessary. Unify, educate, demonstrate, liberate.
Why?
The community is our responsibility.
About face. Uso. What are you here for?
For the protection of the black man and woman and child by any means necessary. Unify, educate, demonstrate, liberate. The community is our responsibility.
About face. Uso. Line up. About face. Uso. Line up. About face. Uso.
Outside of the left
Line up.
face. What are they doing?
About face.
What's the left face?
Uso. What are we here for?
For the protection of the black man, woman, and child by any means necessary. Unify, educate, demonstrate, liberate. The community is our responsibility. The protection of the black man, woman, and child by any means necessary. Unify, educate, demonstrate, liberate. The community is our responsibility. The community is our responsibility. The community is our responsibility.
About face. Uso. Line up.
They look very, very scary.
Black power.
Black love, black love.
I don't understand the point of that comment the guy keeps making. The FACE Act. Illegals can hide in churches and Trump's Gestapo. Brown boot ICE cannot enter. Yeah, okay, great. Good point. What's the point, bruh?
Black power.
Black love, black love.
It looks scary to me. What scares me is that most of them don't have any idea how to use that weapon in their hands. Most of them don't. Here's where they're deporting an Egyptian illegal. ICE is being totally reasonable. They're Nazis. Remember, Nazis is the key word.
As you guys can probably hear from the radio, we've been confirmed status. He do not have the valid status to remain here in the United States. Therefore, he will be placed under arrest and transported. All right? He will be granted.
¿Usted tiene algún... Can I get close? ¿Usted tiene...
Okay, yeah, where's the owner?
Yeah, that's fine.
What's your name?
We got no problem with everybody just stepping in and conversating. But please do not physically interfere, okay?
Seems like they're being pretty
Y'all
reasonable.
know you can just change your mind and go home. Stop doing this Nazi shit, right?
Yeah, Nazi shit.
I'm not getting any closer. Have we gotten this man's name?
No.
Muhammad, I didn't get last
What's
name.
your name?
What's your name?
What's that mean?
What is your name?
Long story short, they arrested the guy. Wow. Oh, this is all caps, so we got to do it.
Wow, let me guess now. Woke right doesn't like gun ownership. That's supposed to be one word. And productive black Americans who protect their community. I'm so surprised. It's all about racism. Racism.
No. I think everybody should own a gun. I mean, all of us should have guns. I got no problem with someone owning a gun if they're black or whatever. I don't care what color they are. You ridiculous dude. I don't know how they're being productive. Productive might be being a good father or raising a good family or that kind of thing, or building a legacy, that kind of thing. Marching around with weapons, playing cosplay isn't really doing it, you know. Not really. Not really. And one more here, I think. I don't know if I played this one yet or not. Yeah, I did. Okay. The New York Times put out an article that's saying Renee Good was summarily executed. New York Times columnist claims, omitting key details. Why would they put all the details in there? That's ridiculous. Whatever. Let's see what's going on in the chat over here. Right? They love quoting the Bible, but they don't mind breaking into a church service and stop people from worshiping God. They only quote the Bible. We all know this. They only quote the Bible when it suits them. Saul Alinsky's Rules for Radicals hold the opposition up to their own standards. So you can easily do that by claiming that someone doesn't act like Jesus. And boom, now you've done it. And somebody, Bible lover out there in the chat here. This is the kind of stuff like the lowbrow, low intelligence comments like this. I don't like what Sapphire Patriot said. She doesn't agree with me. So
Sapphire Patriot is a child sniffing Epstein defender. He is ashamed of nothing, offended by everything. The party of child sniffers.
Oh. Don't you see how ridiculous you look? You look pretty ridiculous to me. Pretty ridiculous to me. Not surprising. You silencing people makes you the girl. No, you can direct all your attention to me, all your insults, all that kind of stuff at me, but I prefer that you didn't berate people in the chat. They're just here to enjoy the show. And who wouldn't enjoy this show, right? It's a great show. But that's one of the rules here. I don't care what you say to me. You can rip on me all you want. You can whatever. But don't do it to people in the chat. They're just here to be here. You guys can debate and argue and shit, whatever, but just don't be disrespectful. Call people names. You know, you're a child sniffer. You don't know anybody in here? How do you mean you sit here and make those accusations on somebody? It's pretty ridiculous, to be honest with you. It makes you look dumb. That's just what I think.
You make jokes about people in prison in El Salvador. I mean, these things they speak to the heart of Americans and what we see people are going through. It's not a political standpoint to me. You know, we try to see the humanity in people, and it doesn't seem like people on the right side are capable of that. This is what people voted for. We knew very well who Trump was during the first term, where he had the family separation policy, where he was putting children in cages. People voted for that again and again. I'm done pretending that there are people out there who will see this and be outraged by it. The polling numbers just show that's not true. People will say they don't like it, but they showed up to the voting booth and voted for him again and again. Of the of nearly 70,000 people in ICE custody right now, less than, I believe, 10% have criminal convictions. I mean, the data shows time and again that this is an unfair, inhumane policy. And so, no, Abby, I don't think this is going to make a difference.
Scott, respond to what?
What she just said.
Look, I'm not going to respond to ad hominem attacks on 70 million Americans who decided to vote Republican in the November 2024 election. I don't think it's right. You come out here, you call people liars, you call anybody who votes Republican, you say they don't have a moral compass. I mean, I
didn't say anybody who votes Republican. I said the people who voted for Donald Trump.
Okay,
they
he's a Republican, and he won in November with Republicans who voted for him. So don't back away from.
I'm not backing away. I don't think they have a moral compass.
That's how you feel, but I'm not.
You don't ever have to worry about me backing away from that point.
I don't feel like I have to respond to these attacks. In fact, I think you ought to ask her if she really believes 70 million people lack a moral compass.
I believe people who saw what Trump did and voted for him lack a moral compass.
She believes, and that's but the problem with the whole left. They believe that we all lack a moral compass. We're all just horrible people out here. Here's a question I have never had before. What's your thoughts on the Challenger space shuttle? Well, I was in 4th grade, I think, when I watched that live in our classroom. That was, I don't know, not great, it wasn't great. CNN, man. I love this guy. Scott Jennings.
I recognize you haven't reviewed all the material
anymore.
But
the
diverse,
the percentage.
Who are you to tell me what I can and can't? I've never met you, brother. Listen, I can say whatever I want. They're illegal aliens, and that's what the law calls them, illegal aliens. That's what I'm going to call them.
Amen.
Listen, you can't say illegals anymore because ICE is directly targeting legal citizens of this country. And
how are you going to enforce your edict on me, just out of curiosity?
Listen, I understand.
But just listen to his point about illegal.
No, I want to know why he gets to instruct
You're
my
changing the topic.
Hang on.
I want to know.
You're making a point about people being arrested.
I understand that your job is predicated on just getting increasingly more demented every single week, and that the audience comes back to see if
make your point.
My point is that you're saying the word illegals, but you don't even really know what's happening. Or actually, I think you do, and you're doing this on purpose.
He's telling me can't use the word illegal anymore.
They are not just targeting illegal immigrants. They are targeting natural-born U.S. citizens.
They are not.
That is a fact. You cannot deny that. I mean, you can on national television.
They are not.
That's it right there. That's the left. It's a fact. You can't deny it because I said so. I don't need any facts to back it up. I don't need any of that crap. That's all for idiots out there. I don't believe in facts, figures, statistics, anything like that. It's just the way it is because I said it's the way.
That is a fact. You cannot deny that. I mean, you can on national television deny facts all the time. You've done it a couple times in this very episode.
I still want to know how you're going to enforce your language edicts on me.
We'll take that up.
How are we going to enforce it?
We're going to take that up at the break.
He's pretty good on that show, man. He's pretty good. I really enjoy Scott Jennings. I think he's pretty darn good on that show. Oh wow, Jake Lang has got another. Jake Lang's got another Get 10 Go. That's like 8 now, I think. Goal of $20,000. He got 12 already, just for going out there and acting like a fool and put himself on the chopping block a little bit so he can get some views and all that kind of stuff. I'll tell you what, Jake Lang. There aren't too many people out there that are as upset about this whole church thing as Jake Lang is. You got to think about that. Think about it, right? Jake Lang had the news all wrapped up, and then that church storming story popped up and knocked him off the top, knocked him out, knocked him off, his thunder. It all went away. His thunder went away. So I guarantee you, he hates the church thing. He can't stand that. I'm sure of it. Where'd my notes go? The one thing too about these protesters at the church and stuff, you get that one guy, William, I forgot his name. Who gives a crap? The loudmouth white guy with the beard that was in D.C. yelling at soldiers, and then he went to Minneapolis and to yell at churchgoers and stuff like that. And the reason behind that is because those are soft targets. You know what? The military is not a soft target. They are, because they're held under. They're not allowed to act out. They're not allowed to do any of that stuff. They have to be professional. So it's an easy target to go yell at a military guy, because high reward if they mess up. If they act out, if they mess up, if they do whatever, that's a high reward target, because now you got a military guy on camera acting out or misbehaving or doing whatever. That's going to go viral instantly. So then you got, that's why he's shooting for that. High value, low risk. Same thing with the churchgoers. Although with that, you look a little bit worse, because you're picking on, just some people sitting there going to their church, right? And so it looks worse. You got to be more careful when you do that, right? But that's all it is they go pick these easy targets. Targets that won't fight back. Targets that won't pop you in the mouth. Because that's part of the problem nowadays, is that no one gets popped in the mouth when they misbehave, when they speak, when they misspeak or whatever. They don't get popped in the mouth for it anymore. That's part of the problem, guys. That's part of the problem. Jake Lyons got another one. Wow. That's remarkable. I don't know how many gives and goes he's had now, but it's been a lot. It's been a lot. Trying to find one thing I wanted to show, but let's try this one out. Another white liberal lady with a nose ring. You believe that? Nice lady with a nose ring. I don't believe it. Let's see what she has to say. I'm sure it's going to be profound.
Look, I'm as tired as the rest of y'all. And previously, I haven't had a gun because of tendencies that I historically have. But it's time. It's time to get guns. It's time to do the well-regulated militia shit and stock up.
You're not well regulated, nor are you a militia.
And don't indulge in your intrusive thoughts, because the world needs you to wield that gun for good. Look, I'm as tired as the rest of y'all.
Oh, these people.
And previously, I haven't had a gun because of
Wait a second here, doing a little housekeeping.
tendencies that I historically have. But it's time. It's time to get guns. It's time to do the well-regulated militia shit and stock up.
Stock up.
And don't indulge in your intrusive thoughts, because the world needs you to wield that gun for good. Look, I'm as tired.
They want violence. Go figure. The left wants violence. Unbelievable, isn't it? European Americans think that they were the first Christians. No, we don't. No, we don't. You need us to think that, but no, we don't actually think that. European Americans think they are true Americans. You're just immigrants. No, I was born here. That wasn't very hard to set straight, was it? Call them undocumented immigrants, like an intellectual, but they're illegal aliens. But that's what they are. They're illegal aliens, though.
This pathetic white devil silencing people on here shows his true colors.
Silence people just because I don't want people insulting other people in my chat. Like I said, you can direct your insults at me. What do I think about, where did I go? What do I think about trans people? I think trans people have a mental disorder. I think that's all it really is. I think until 2019, even the World Health Organization had transgenderism listed as a mental disorder. But then they changed it in 2019. Why did they change it? Was it a medical reason? Was it science? Or was it politics? Oh, politics, I guess. So politics control the medical journals now. I feel sorry for those, but I don't hate any of them. I don't hate transgender people at all. Not at all. I don't hate anybody. But I do think they need help. I do think that they have a mental disorder they need help with. It's a pretty simple, like for instance, here's a good example that I've used before that I think explains it pretty well. You go to the doctor and I have my arm here, my left arm, and I inside I feel like a right-armed person. I feel like a one-armed person in my heart. So I go to the doctor and I say, "Hey doc, I decided that I need to have my left arm cut off because I don't feel like a two-armed person." And the doctor is going to go, "What?" And you're going to say, "I want to cut my arm off. I'm not a two-armed person." The doctor's rightfully going to send you to some kind of a mental therapy or something like that. Most likely that's what he's going to do. But if you went to the doctor and said, "Oh, I feel like I shouldn't have a penis," well, he's gonna be like, "Well, let's cut that thing right off. Let's cut that right off. You don't need that." Why is it different? You're a crazy person if you want to cut your arm off, but you're supposedly normal if you want to cut off your, huh? Is that where we're at?
If an illegal immigrant stole your job, your parents were failures.
Interesting logic. Interesting logic. If an illegal immigrant stole your job, I wonder what your opinion is on minimum wage and stuff like that. That doesn't jive if you care about minimum wage employees and stuff. That doesn't really jive, does it? Being a liberal is tough. You don't have to have any kind of. Oh, maybe I'll bring that up. That's a good one. You don't have to have any. Oh, I wonder if I still have it on there. No principles, nothing like that. Let's see here. Where are we at? If I still have that one on here or not. Oh. Here, check it out. Listen to this if you don't pay any attention to.
How I can help my youth generation realize what's happening in our nation. Yeah.
Let me ask you a question first.
Yeah.
A couple of questions. Are your parents conservative?
My parents are conservative, and I go to a really great school.
All right. And so I'm just trying to get the lay of the land here. There's no wrong answer to any of these. There's no tricks here. I'm just trying to.
Okay.
What about the kids at your school? What's the majority, conservative or liberal?
Well, I go to a school, and most of the people there are conservative.
Teachers
it's a charter
too?
School.
Worldview, national view in the curriculum, the attitudes of the professors, teachers, and this kind of thing.
This is 11 minutes long.
The first thing that you're going to need is patience.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, indeed.
you're going to want to persuade them. You're going to want them to see the light. You're going to want them to see the light for all the right reasons. I know you want them probably to be able to experience the best the country has to offer. You want them to be prosperous, and you know that liberalism is not the answer. But man, it's so seductive, Jordan. Liberalism is so easy. All you have to do is see some suffering and tell everybody that you see it, and that it really bothers you.
That's it.
And you all bring and tell. It's so easy. All you have to do is see some suffering and tell everybody that you see it.
Yep.
And that it really
You don't have to do
bothers
anything.
you. And you all, right there, you are given great credit for having great compassion. And people will say great things about you.
It's so
All you
true. That's so true. It's all you have to do. It's all you have to do. Illegal aliens is dehumanizing. I don't care if that's what it's called as a status. It's dehumanizing. Think about it. Use your pea brain. Illegal alien. They're illegal aliens. That's what they are. If your fragile brain can't handle that, it's you with the problem, not me. I don't need to look at my pea-sized brain. I'm good. It's an illegal alien. And you are a puppet. Enjoy it, I guess. That's a great question. This might be the best question of the day so far. Can trans men still drive once they have women's parts, or do they drive like women? I'm going to say they probably drive like women. That's what I'm thinking. Probably drive like women. Immigrants have to work shit jobs most of us will not do, and none of us would for the price. It's true and not true. I've worked in the construction field for 30 years now. I've been around illegal aliens pretty much my whole career. They get screwed. They have to do the crap work. They have to do that kind of stuff. They get paid less than other people get paid. They get taken advantage of. I mean, if you really think that it's compassionate to allow people to come into the country to work illegally, then you're an idiot. Sorry. You are. Because it's not compassionate. It's not. It's taking advantage of them. They should be going after the employers as well. They did that when I had my business, I remember. I mean, I never hired illegals, but why don't you blame the billionaire corporations for underpaying you all and for giving your jobs away? I don't know. Blame the billionaire corporations for underpaying you. You sign a contract. You agree to a contract when you take a job, and you know what the pay is going to be, and you know all that kind of stuff. So really, to bitch about it after the fact is disingenuous, isn't it? You agreed to it when you signed on. The time that good men stand up and do bad things to bad people is upon us. Agree? Agree. Hit that like button and subscribe. Someone said something about me being a grifter out there. How dare you? How dare you call me a grifter? But while you're at it, be sure to hit that like button and make sure to subscribe. Also, please consider becoming a part of our community here by clicking on that little join button. You get access to my full video history, including back in 1776 days, merch discounts from our little shop at shop.magamericans.com, and members only live streams, and more than that. So make sure you check that out. magamericans.com for all the links and the details and to find out more. That's a funny comment, actually. There we go. Oh man, I'm a little behind here. Yeah. He's a grifter. I haven't heard one educated take at all. And I think that may be a problem with comprehension. Maybe more on your side than my side. I don't know. Who am I to say? I don't know, but just seems that might be the case. Sam, I'll get banned or bounced in a second. You only get bound or bounced if you go after people in the chat. You can go after me. Tell me how much I suck. Tell me how stupid my beard looked. You could do whatever. Bro, don't even say the word comprehension, bro. Bro.
Bruh.
Bro. Don't even do that, bro. What does grifter mean? Yeah, so I never heard that word before until I got involved in the patriotic movements and stuff like that. People were throwing that word around a lot. Basically, grifters like taking money and using it on something that you didn't. Like if I asked you for money so I could get gas to drive to DC or something like that, and then I just use it for something else, that'd be grifting. Basically asking for money in a dishonest manner to use it for something that you're not going to admit to. What? You signed a contract because you needed a job. Blaming people for their situation and coercive practices is F. Scummy, dude. Did someone force you into that? Did you get forced into a job? Are you an indentured servant? Oh my gosh. Give me your number. I'll call the police for you. We can help you get out of this. You don't have to be there like that. Indentured servitude should be banned. Oh, wait. No, you just took a job and agreed on the pay before you took the. Oh, well, that's not the same thing. That's just you being dummy. It's just you being a dummy. I remember that day too. I'm going to start doing a call in, I think, on here because we need some more voices out there speaking up, right? We can get some of those sharp-witted leftists out here to come on and talk some sense into me. We'll have to think about it. We'll have to do that. Well, usually I only go on for an hour. I'll putz around a little bit longer. Maybe I'll stay on a little bit. Chat a little bit. I know what it means, but the left kept on saying, using the term grifting, yet they never say how, and then expect people to prove them wrong when there's no evidence of them being a grifter. It is idiotic. Agreed, Sapphire. But it's hard to tell beforehand, you know? It's almost impossible really to know beforehand. But we'll do something. I add a little bit of maybe like the last 15 minutes every day. We'll get some call-ins or something like that. Everybody gets a couple minutes just to make it more interesting. Interesting is good, right? Oh, so that being said, God bless everybody here. As Faith would say, smile at a stranger. It's important. I think it's important. And pray for your enemies. I say this all the time. Pray for your enemies. When I said pray for your enemies, and you thought of somebody that you like, oh, I can't pray for that person. No, I can't do that. Pray for that exact person. Push yourself to pray for that person. I'm laughing my ass off. He is literally a grifter. He's been rattling his donation cup. Right? It's funny. I didn't say one thing about that all whole time. It's funny how you can like have a store, work hard on designing some merchandise, have a store, build a website, offer articles on Substack, all kinds of stuff. And then you mention one thing like, hey, you could follow me on social media. Oh, he's a grifter. He's a grifter. He's been rattling his gold change cup the whole time he's been here. See that? He's a grifter. He said it one time. Thing is, I'm not asking for donations. I'm saying, I want you to have something for what I do. I am wearing my own merch. I think someone needs some attention. Someone out there is very triggered. Maybe you should put some comments in the comment section after it. I'll make sure that I read it, and then you can get after me with some mean words and hurt my feelings. Buy a shirt while you're at it. God bless. I hope everybody has a good day no matter what side you're on. It shouldn't matter. It shouldn't matter. I just hope everybody has a good day. Oh, it's not a blank hat. Oh, I guess you gotta look closer. You're not real smart out there. Not real smart out there. God bless you guys. Have a great day. We'll see you later. Run your life. You can get past it. You can get past it.